Hi everyone, this is Amanda with Free Balance Canine Training, and today I'm going to be teaching Maple how to stay. So how I do the stay command is not typical of what a lot of people know how to do, which is you keep telling your dog the word stay and they have to stay in that spot. How I do stay is I don't say it at all. I actually put my dogs into a sit or a down or the place command, which is where they have a cot that they have to lay on or a bed. It's something with a boundary. So they have to stay in those commands until I use the word break, which is my release word. I heard of free being a release word. I used to use the word okay until I started saying okay just randomly in my everyday stuff, and then my dogs would all get up because they're like, oh, okay. And so I stopped doing that and I switched to the word break. So I do break for all my client dogs unless they already have a word that they would prefer to use, and now all my own dogs. So when I'm teaching the commands, I make sure that they fully understand the command. So I have to know that my dog knows that I say down and they lay down. When I say sit, they sit, and place, they can stay on the place. And then we start working duration. So duration means you have to stay there for a longer period of time, and it's going to be with low distractions at first. Eventually you're going to add more distractions, you're going to add a lot more distance from the dog. So I'll start out being really close, and I use my leash, making sure that I always have a way of catching my dog as they try to get up out of the command. If you don't have guidance, if you don't have a leash, it's going to be really hard for the dog to understand that they're supposed to stay there. So, and they end up getting really far away from you if you don't have a leash on them. So whenever you're teaching new things to your dogs, use a leash. It makes life way easier. So I'm actually just going to be doing down today. I'm going to do a down stay, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm on e-collar and prong collar. Prong collar is for the guidance, and I just make sure she knows where I want her to go. So when I'm teaching down, I'm going to say down, and I'll guide her into the down. So I just use a down pressure using my foot, and she follows the pressure of the collar. And she's already fully trained on e-collar, so I'm going to be just using kind of her lowest kind of correction point at this point. It's not going to be no high corrections. She actually is very flaky with her downstays, so this is really good practice for her. And she's like the perfect dog for me to use because most likely she's going to get up. I know that at a certain point of my distance, she's going to get up. She can hold place very well, and that's good for my household, so I haven't really had to do a lot of downstays. But downstays are good for if you go out in public places such as restaurants and cafes, breweries, anything that's dog friendly. If you're out on a long walk or going to the park and you want to go to the park and have them in a downstay. So downstay is a really, really good thing for dogs to learn how to do, especially if you're very social and you want to go out and do a lot of stuff with them. So I'm going to move her, I'm going to put her into a down, and then I'm going to show you how I start distancing myself. And so I'm going to be adding a duration, which is staying there for a certain amount of time, and then I'm going to distance myself. So I'm going to kind of show you kind of quickly through the process of how I fully teach it. And so hopefully it's simple enough for you to understand, and that you enjoy having a really simple down stay command instead of constantly having to say stay, and it's just less verbiage. And yeah, so all right, Maple, let's go. Down. Good. So she's in her down. Good job. So I'll reward for that. You can do food if you have a dog that's really good with food. Give them some food at this point. Also, I'm going to be using some of my distance. If she gets up, I'm just going to say the word no, and I'm going to give her a tap on the collar. If she struggles, I have my leash for guidance. Good. So again, I'll be using food or petting. Good job. So she's staying really well, and we've been there for a good minute or so. For a brand new dog, you're gonna circle them, kind of see how they're doing with just moving, and then you're gonna release the dog. Break. Good girl. And gradually, you'll do a bunch of reps, kind of short term, making sure she understands that she's got to stay there that whole time, and you keep lengthening the amount of time that she stays. Maple, down. Down. Oh, right on my feet. Got a fancy down. She's got to do a fancy down. So I'll just kind of keep the distance. I don't want to go too far yet. So it's a good amount of distance. Let her sit a little bit longer this time. And my marker for continuing to do the command is going to be good. Good girl. Again, she can't get up. Stretch, stretch. No. Okay. Break. There we go. That ought to stop you. Good girl. So pretty simple, pretty easy so far. Just stay where you're at. I'm going to distance myself a little bit. You're going to stay there for longer periods of time until I release you. So then, as you progress, your dog should be able to hold it down for quite a while. So I'd say, if you're holding downs for 10 minutes, there's no reason why at that point, as with low distractions, they can't hold it down for 30 minutes. They can't hold it down for an hour. So when you're at home and you're practicing this, and your floor is not going to be as comfortable as a bed. So this is kind of good practice for them to understand. I have to stay here. I don't want to stay here, but mom put me into a down, and I got to stay in the down. And so it's a really good, difficult task, I guess you could say. It's a challenge. It's a good challenge. Hard floor. It's good also to practice at Lowe's or anything with like the cement flooring is really good practice as well. Yeah, and then put them back on their cushy bed afterwards, So we're in a down, and I'm going to start getting some more distance. I don't want to keep staying close. Eventually, you got to work your way out, right? You want to be able to be at home, keep your dog somewhere. Say you're wanting your dog in the kitchen, then you go from the kitchen, to go switch over the laundry or do some task, take care of kids or something, but you want them to stay in the kitchen. So you got to be able to learn how to distance. So, good girl. Again, just some praise, verbal stuff, nothing too crazy. If you do too much praise, if you do too much food, some dogs do pop up and get really excited about it. Yeah, so she's doing really good. Not a lot of worrying so far about her wanting to get up. She's watching, but good girl. Break, break. There you go. So that's my downstay, and pretty simple. Just keep practicing it like that. Do very incremental steps. You don't need to be able to cross the whole room in one day. She did really good. So if she, like I said, if she was to have popped up, what I would have done, I should probably show that actually. So down. All right. So I'm kind of going to coax her into getting up without saying the word, but if she was to get up, scratchy scratch. So if she gets up, I'm just going to say the word no. And in the very beginning, you'll have your leash already. So then you would just use the leash and say down, and you would do like your down with the foot. Always good until they start looking at it. And or you can, you just use the leash to guide, or you know, if they're really smartsy, they'll just go down with the correction. So, yeah, let's see if I can, I know it's kind of cheating, but no, all right, good job. Okay, there we go. So I'd say no, down. Good. So out of 6, no leash guidance needed, so easy peasy. Good girl, right? Right? And sometimes you have to load up the brake. So if they don't know the release guard very well, you're going to use a lot of food, praise to kind of get them back up. And yeah, so that is my stay command. And this is my goofy dog, Maple. Her fancy downs. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the little video.